This is what your event will look like if you don't put it on porkcalendar.com. And this is what it will look like if you do. Well, actually, I'm exaggerating, but porkcalendar.com is a potentially game-changing tool for publicizing your activity in New Hampshire. It's free, and it's a great place to visit if you want to avoid missing freedom events in New Hampshire. It unifies the other calendars and doesn't require registration. My theory is if we can get about 2,000 NH activists to look at it once a week, we'll have our freedom within 5 years. porkcalendar.com with a C at the end of pork.
My parents think I'm in a cult, because I hang out here. And Ernie Hancock was doing our wedding tomorrow. I said, if you could please make the focus of the wedding, to show my parents that I'm really not in a cult.
This is important to us to see a union like this.
I'm just, hanging out with really good people who respect their neighbors. So I very much want to take this talk to try to emphasize that I think the approach that activists or anyone who wants to challenge government authority should take should be far less confrontational and more respectful with the police. Now, I understand that the police enforce a great many laws that don't deserve your respect, but at the same time, I would think that everybody here would want more people that are involved in the enforcement of the law to realize where that could hurt people. Okay, I firmly believe whenever the state enforces a victimless crime, it creates a victim. And I would love to get to the point where the government is operating on the Constitution. Is there anyone here who has faith in the Constitution at all? There's a few scared people in the crowd. I do. I mean, I have a copy of it hanging on my wall. I've sworn an oath to it 3 times. And this is very unpopular to say, but in the state of New Hampshire, the founding fathers who drafted the Constitution instilled Part 1, Article 10, which clearly says that the right of revolution is a right of the people. And after I left law enforcement, I've seen just countless examples of how people who work for the government are held to a lower standard than everybody else, and that's not the way the system is supposed to work. It's supposed to be that people who work for the government are held to a higher standard. The people themselves are where all government power comes from, and those people should be accountable to the people. I read a blog once from an attorney who had been harassed crossing the United States border by Customs and Border Protection about being asked questions, and he just didn't want to answer questions about what he was doing out of the United States. And I went down to Mexico in July of last year, and I got arrested at the border for simply not answering questions that aren't legally required. And an ICE special agent came out and told the customs officers that arrested me to let me go, and then they completely fabricated their arrest report about me and lied to Senator Shaheen's office about it. And I guess they can say that they can try to question my credibility, and if they do that, I'm just going to point them to a New Hampshire Supreme Court case where a serial killer accused me of pointing an assault rifle at her, and the New Hampshire Attorney General believed my version of the event so much that they never even called me as a witness. So the government breaks the law. The government agents who work for the government do lie. These same officers, not the same exact officers, but down in this area, there's like 20 of them now being investigated for killing someone who was being removed from the United States, and there's a video of it. So unfortunately, there are lots of people in government who...
Whoa!
Watch it, buddy!
Whoa, that is...
You do not do that!
Did I bump you? I'm sorry.
Who are not, who do not have the integrity that you would expect or you would hope that people would have. So how do we deal with that? Well, I think one of the best ways to deal with that is just simply to be nice.
How are you? Good. Thanks again. Yeah, we were just kind of checking, make sure everything's okay.
I got my picture okay?
Yeah, I do. Thanks.
What are you more concerned about so I can answer your question?
Well, we just want to make sure that everything's okay, everybody's all right. And,
okay.
Would you like to give me your badge number?
8930.
And simply to be respectful to the police, even when the police are doing things that are disrespectful, because a lot of police might not know that what they're doing is disrespectful. And I know it probably makes many of you have some distaste in your mouth to think, oh, I'm going to be nice to someone who's pulling me over in a sobriety checkpoint. But one of the funniest things I heard yesterday was my good friend Dr. Tapp over there was going through a sobriety checkpoint, and this only a porcupine could pull this off. Darren was sober as a judge, you know, as they say, and he goes through the sobriety checkpoint and he gets arrested for 4 misdemeanors. Like, only a porcupine could pull that off, right? And like, that's not good, because I don't want to see good people needlessly get arrested and have criminal records for things that they don't need to have. And especially because, like, the police, you know, the police doing these things think they're doing the morally right and just thing by having a sobriety checkpoint to reduce, you know, I mean, people driving drunk on the road create fatal accidents. It's a serious problem. But the police, it's like the first solution is always to violate the Constitution. Like sobriety checkpoints, they're unconstitutional. You can't have internal checkpoints in the United States, but everyone seems to want to do it because, you know, there's statistics that say it's beneficial. So instead of going into a checkpoint and being confrontational, like, why not go into a checkpoint with information and ask the police if you can stop and talk to them? Whenever I go through the Border Patrol checkpoints out west, have any of you gone through those? The Border Patrol will stop you looking for illegal immigrants and then walk a drug dog around your car? Yes. Yeah, we're just making sure you're a citizen. You know, this dog can smell illegal people. So whenever I go through those checkpoints, I always refuse to cooperate until they tell me I can leave. And then I'm like, can I please talk to you for a minute? And it confuses the crap out of them because they don't know what I'm doing. But I simply explain that, look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you guys. I just want you to know that what you're doing is wrong. And there was a black officer who told me, well, it's the law down in Texas once. And I told him, well, the law once said that someone who looks like you can't drink out of a white water fountain. Doesn't make it right. I mean, this is the United States. You shouldn't be getting stopped unless you actually do something wrong. And I've figured out why people become anarchists. And it's because of all these examples of the government not following the rules.
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
porkcalendar.com.